Hello and welcome to a bonus video for Let's Play Splatterhouse. I have Kaboom Dragoon with me once again, and we'll be checking out the survival arenas, my favorite part of the game. So let's get into it. And as you can see, I've overdubbed my own music to the soundtrack here.
Yeah, the stock music in the game is okay, but it still kind of leaves a bit to be desired when you're sitting doing these endlessly.
Yeah, I like most of it, but what they do during these survival arenas is they play all the songs from the licensed soundtrack, just back to back, and they just randomly stop or restart, and it's pretty annoying.
Yeah, the licensed tracks, to be honest, they're not as good as the original music, I feel.
Yeah, the original score in this game is excellent.
Just that most of the stuff that they picked for the licensed stuff isn't exactly indicative of the output of the actual bands, so it's just kind of bland.
Yeah, they chose basically generic radio-style tracks from most of those bands.
Pretty much. Wasted opportunity.
Yep.
That and everyone's like, oh well, they should have picked this band and this band and this band because we're horrible music snobs. No.
They did have more bands that they picked and announced, but that didn't end up in the game because presumably they couldn't get the licensing.
Yeah, seems that from what I've heard and what people have said in thread, there was a hell of a lot in this game that was basically left in the floor.
Oh yeah, like half the game. It's crazy.
I had absolutely no idea until people started talking about it.
Yeah, maybe someday we'll see some of that stuff. Hopefully.
Someday, he said, looking off wistfully into the middle distance.
Yes. So, the survival arenas are, in addition to surviving, of course, and killing everything, they are timed. You're ranked based on your time.
Yeah. Time, how much blood you spill, all kinds of stuff, basically.
Well, your final rank is literally based only on your time. Yeah. But there are secret missions which you can do to get bonus weapons and
that must be what I was thinking
also
of.
achievements. Yeah, exactly. And the secret missions include doing a bunch of splatter kills, 20 of them in fact. And once you've done 20 splatter kills, it's impossible to make the time to get a high ranking. So, what we're doing in this run is we are going after the 10 secret missions achievement, which is all the secret missions.
Mainly because it's more interesting.
Exactly, it's going to be a lot more fun to see.
Because otherwise you'd just be spamming the same half dozen or so moves over and over and over again.
Exactly, I'd be grabbing every weapon that dropped and smashing the hell out of everything.
Yeah.
Going for instant kills as much as possible.
And that
you also
so interesting for so far.
Yeah, you don't go into berserker mode in the speed S rank runs as well because it takes too long. The transformation cutscene is too long.
If I remember right, the times are actually incredibly strict.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Particularly in this first level, it's 12 minutes. And the 20 splatter kills takes about 3.5 minutes right there, so yeah, that's not happening.
With the first one?
Yeah, which one was that? Was that the limbs?
Yeah, 10 enemies with body parts.
Yeah. We're ultimately going to have to kill 25 enemies with limbs. We got one there for stomping 24 worms. That's a very easy one to get.
Yeah. Half the crates...
Pretty much unavoidable.
Half the crates drop boar worms, the other half are enemies. Are weapons, I should say. So,
yeah, there's brown crates, which always have boar worms in them, and then there's red crates, which have a random weapon in them. And there's green crates that have, as you might have noticed, a piece of picture of Jenny in them. Because that's just utter gratuity, though. Like, there's not even an attempt at a storyline explanation there.
There was an attempt at a storyline explanation?
Yeah, there is in the main game. They say that Jenny ripped up all these naked pictures of herself that she brought to the haunted mansion.
Right.
And left them as a trail of breadcrumbs.
Yeah, because that's a thing that normal people do.
Yep.
I just imagine her, pulling them out of her purse at the bus stop. The way other people would say, do you want to see my kids? So, I was at this concert. Here's my boobs.
Paints a very bizarre picture of Jenny.
I remember looking at the guide, and there's a couple of points in them where they're like, and here's a picture where she's actually clothed. I know, I'm surprised to see that too. This is in the official guide as well.
Yep, that's how classy this game is. And because these pictures are completely gratuitous, they are also considerably more explicit than the ones in the main game. Here's the only use of weapons. You can use them against Terratoids. Because using them against enemies is a waste of kills. And there's 100 kills that we have to do in very specific ways in order to get the achievement.
Because if there's one thing that's consistent throughout the Splatterhouse series, it's that the developers hate you.
Yeah, basically. And I've sped up all the splatter kills we've seen once before.
Which is all of them.
Yeah, exactly. There was very briefly a QTE that was activated by one of the spiky guys, the Ghasts they're called. He grabbed Rick's arm and tried to rip it off. It's basically the move that we do to them, but done to us.
Oh, the delightful irony.
Yes, it's very easy to avoid, but it's interesting. They almost never do it in the main game. I only ever see it in the survival arenas.
I don't know, do the arenas have dynamic difficulty? I don't remember. They do.
I can't really tell. I can't figure out what difficulty they're meant to be on or anything like that.
I'll need to check that in the official guide and see if there's anything for that.
Yeah, it's worth looking into. For the most part, they seem to rely on just flooding you with millions of enemies to up the difficulty. As we're going to see later, waves are going to have just tons of mini-boss enemies all at once. All those delicious weapons lying all over the floor and I can't use them.
Yep, developers hate you, alright.
Yep. I have a very specific strategy that I employ. Fill up the blood meter and use it to berserk mode, and yeah, it's a cycle that I've mastered at this point. I've done this 4 times, I think, getting all 10 secret missions in one run. Took a few practice runs to be able to get it even once.
I said the survival mode is a nice touch, but ultimately it's just really repetitive and boring.
I do enjoy it quite a bit. It's fun, but it's got a shelf life, for sure.
To be honest, I don't even think I've really touched it very much in my playthrough that I've got going on.
Yeah. It's mostly a thing that you want to start doing at least halfway through the game. I recorded this after I got the Splatter Smash move in the main game, which is after the 6th level.
Yeah.
Yeah, before that you don't really want to attempt these because you're not going to get a good ranking and you're not going to be able to get the secret missions either. You're just going to get frustrated and probably killed.
But this doesn't give you anything other than naked pictures of Jenny, does it?
And percentage completion towards the 100%.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah.
Because I think from the complete version that someone's working on, the game was also supposed to give you extra masks to wear, depending on how well you did.
Yeah, currently all the masks are paid for DLC.
Yeah, I took one look at them and just went, nope.
Yeah. hard pass on those as well.
And it wouldn't be so bad if they actually offered you anything like, you know, wear this mask and get, you know, extra blood or double necrometer.
Yeah, exactly. Some gameplay difference.
Yeah, something to make your next playthrough a bit more interesting or easier.
If only.
Although going by that, the hack that's being worked on, there's only one unlockable in this, and there's another 2 or 3 which you can buy. But going from what I saw, there's something like a dozen or so extra masks. Ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
And they all look fundamentally different. It's not just, you know, a recolor.
Yeah. The art design for this game is pretty much where they spend all their time and money.
Yeah. Kind of shows for good and ill.
Yep. Oh, we got an achievement not long ago for getting half of the secret missions.
Dead on the Rise. I wonder what that's a reference to.
Yeah. I'm sure Chaco will tell us.
It's probably it's most likely, at the very least, a reference to Dead Rising, I think.
Possibly.
If not, at least 1 or 2 Hammer horror movies. Sounds like the kind of thing. It's been a while since I've seen any. I haven't seen them since I was a kid, actually. Probably explains a lot.
Yes, you were raised by Splatterhouse and horror movies.
Basically, yeah. I remember reading H.P. Lovecraft when I was about 8.
Nice.
Someone left it in the... Someone marked a compilation of his work in the kids section of the library. And even as a kid, I was, you know, oh, horror, fantastic stuff. I mentioned it to a friend of mine, she was like, you know, in retrospect, that explains a hell of a lot. Like, thank you?
Yeah, a lot of people say you gotta read Lovecraft young or you're not gonna appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm afraid that if I went back and read it now, I would think it was the worst thing ever.
I didn't read any of his work until a few years ago, and aside from the overt, excessive racism, I liked it quite a bit.
As a kid, it's the kind of thing you don't really notice.
Yeah.
So, you know, when other people talk about, you know, Lovecraftian things, I tend to think of it more as a mood, or a tone or a setting, rather than specific traits to the genre.
Yeah, exactly. They're all pretty much noted for nihilism and
It's
misery.
Yeah, like I said, it's more of a mood rather than this is a list of things that occur.
Yeah. Although the entire Stuart Gordon filmography is pretty faithful to its Lovecraft source material, and it's all really, really good.
Yeah, I've been meaning to catch up with those again. Again, I saw stuff like Society when I was a kid, which again explains a hell of a lot.
That's yeah, Society is Brian Yuzna, who is Stuart Gordon's
that's right. Yeah, I always get the two confused.
Yeah.
Mainly
rightfully so. They both they're the Reanimator group.
Yeah, basically because the pair of them have worked on so many classics that they are more or less inseparable in some ways.
Yeah, in many people's minds. Yeah.
I think it was Yuzna who worked on The Dentist as well, wasn't it?
Possibly. I'm not as familiar with that one.
Yeah. I know that I've seen a lot of their individual movies. Just not much of the stuff where they work together. Or at least I saw it so long ago that I don't remember.
I am mad at Yuzna for making Beyond Reanimator, which is horrible.
I need to see it. I'll need to actually check and see if there's been any box sets of their stuff, because I know that there's a couple of DVD companies in the UK who've been releasing classic and cult horror movies on the cheap. Oh, fantastic choice of song, by the way. I do like American Head Charts.
Yes. Yeah, they're one of my favorite
especially
bands.
this one. This is my favorite song of theirs. But yeah, they've been
And look at that title. I couldn't pass.
Of course not. But yeah, they've been releasing stuff like the Elvira movies, the Stuff, a whole bunch of other movies. Those are just the ones that I've got on my Amazon wishlist.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, they've been releasing a lot of really, well, not quite obscure, but serious call movies on the cheap. And they released a whole bunch of them as a box set a while back. So I'll need to go and see if they're available or not. Because I know that Society's
I'm way behind on my my film watching.
Because Society's...
I could really use a whole bunch crammed together at once.
Society's getting a Blu-ray release over here. Which I really need to get, especially as they're releasing it in a special Shiny Tin edition.
Nice.
With delightful artwork, which has to be seen to be believed.
I should overlay it here.
Yep.
Let the people know.
It's worth checking out for that reason alone.
I don't know why I didn't just grab a sword and slice this guy up. Instead I, had a fair fight with him.
Which is dumb in its own right.
And I just got the, I got the secret mission for getting 50 Berserker mode kills already. So that was a waste of time.
At the very least, you've got Chainsaw sitting right there.
Oh yeah. The more secret missions you get, the more likely you are to get chainsaws and shotguns in the red boxes.
This is a game that rewards its carnage.
Oh yeah. If you're going for speed, that's actually a bad thing, because there's the pickup animation for the chainsaws, which is really long.
Yeah.
By the time you've picked it up, you're likely to have been hit and had it knocked out of your hands once again.
I mean, if you can keep it, then yeah, it will save you some time in the long run. But considering how easy it is to get overwhelmed with enemies, not really going to work.
Yep.
So in the long run,
you're
better off avoiding it.
Yeah. I'm already 1.5 times the speed limit for this level.
And at this point, this is where it starts becoming more of a slog than anything, because you're getting faced with, mini-boss level monsters.
Yep, it's very much about controlling the enemies, because you have to kill them all in specific ways.
Yeah.
You do not have very many kills to waste.
Yeah. At this point, you're just trying to herd them more than anything, so you can work on them in specific ways.
Exactly, I had to isolate the Terratoids and splatter kill them. I can't crush them with splatter moves. And I have to do that while not killing any of the little guys.
Fun!
Yeah, it's brutal.
Stuff like this is why I don't 100% games these days. My neckbeard just isn't luxurious enough.
I pretty much only 100% a game if I'm Let's Playing it.
I've only done it with 2 games in recent years. Both of them were within the last 6 months.
Anything good?
No. It's a short answer. Prototype 2, which was a horrible waste of a franchise compared to the first one.
Yeah. I love Prototype 1, but I didn't even touch that
First
game.
one is one of my favourite games, full stop. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Second one just wastes everything. And becomes the adventures of Angry McBlackman. And the other one, funnily enough, was Saw. The first one.
Boy. What are you doing to yourself?
I don't really like myself very much, I have to admit. I have deep-seated self-loathing issues.
You don't appreciate your life.
I see, the game was actually pretty good for the first... Well, not exactly good, but, it was inoffensive enough for the first third half, at 50% or so. And then there's these sort of circuitry puzzles, which are
hacking mini
Yes, this is a game full of mini games. It doesn't have bosses. It has boss puzzles. And
what I'm doing here is I'm running around in circles and avoiding the last enemy so that I can get the no damage for 120 seconds achievement.
funnily enough, Saw has an achievement where if you stand in one spot for 5 minutes, there you go, you get an achievement. Called You've Wasted Your Life. It's just a thing, because the game just shits gamer score at you left and right. Literally the first 15 minutes, you've got like 300-400 points.
That's it.
So at that point, I was just sort of like, well, I might as well go for the full 1,000, you know. But yeah, the boss puzzles, there's one part where Splatterhouse, where have I had that one before? You've got these circuitry puzzles, and normally they start a 3x3 grid where you have to light up all the lights, and towards the end you've got several 7x7 grids randomized under a time limit. And if you don't get them within the time limit and go through the exit, oh look, instant kill. And it's just the most unfun thing I've played in a long, long time. Well, the most unfun thing I've willingly subjected myself to. I mean, I bought a few Steam games which are like, okay, this sucks. Let's not play it anymore. But those were sort of like, okay, this sucks. Let's just keep playing it.
Yeah, good.
Because I hate myself.
Yeah, that's what I did for the last half of DMC.
DMC, aka hammer the heavy attack button to win.
Yep.
It's actually,
if your character's not red, then you're not playing it right.
Actually, I believe the art book comes out in a month or two. And if it's not just 120 pages of middle finger with fuck you written in various fonts, I'm going to be disappointed.
I got the achievement I was going for. Now all I have to do is survive the final wave. And I'm not doing a good job, because I have one arm and very little health.
You're not very good at this surviving malarkey, are you?
The last wave of these secret missions are actually really difficult. This is the easiest one, and I'm still at risk of dying.
No, there's 5-6 arenas.
Yeah, 6 in the main game, and I have 4 DLC ones as well.
I forgot that was the other major DLC.
Yep. And those I bought because I actually like the secret missions. I'm gonna be editing this the same way I started it, with the shotgun.
Guarantee there's at least one person watching this is like, the picture's right there! Pick it up! Just watching you leap around it all merry like.
Here's the album cover of the song we're listening to.
That's
pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's some classic metal right there.
Yeah, I highly recommend Splatterhouse to anyone who's been enjoying this LP. They're a great band.
Horrible artwork, and you can't make out the title at all.
Oh yeah. And then we got the D rank, which gives us no percentage completion. Pretty much a complete waste. So, I'm going to be going back in and showing off a S rank run in hyper fast motion.
Any second.
Oh yeah. Well, we gotta relax. We made it through a brutal fight.
Relaxo-vision. It's not yakety sax, I'll give you that much.
That song is incredible. I love this song. And there's an achievement for killing 1,000 boar worms.
Yeah,
which I accidentally did during this run.
That you're pretty much guaranteed to, unless you've got guaranteed to get during a normal play run, unless you've got some kind of pathological aversion to breaking things.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost unavoidable.
At the very least, you'll be within like half a dozen boar worms of getting it.
Yep. You do want to get as many secret missions as you can during the S rank run, because you get more weapons and you use a lot of weapons during the speed run.
And hope.
But you don't want to get too many or you start getting chainsaws.
And hopefully you'll have got the weapon upgrades and weapon durability upgrades in the main game as well.
Yeah, those are very helpful. There's a lot of specific upgrades that I got in order to do the survival mission.
They're really built with an eye on you having at least gone through most of the main game before you tackle them.
Yeah. I thought I'd play the final wave at regular speed, show that I have less than a minute to complete it. Use a lot of Splatter Smash. It's excellent against these Terratoids. And even though we have the picture, it still drops the green crates, which have nothing in them now.
Yeah, not even any extra war worms or anything, which is kind of a waste.
Yeah. Or an extra weapon or something.
You think, you know, they would throw in like more biggie chainsaws or anything, but...
Yep. No, it's just lazy programming, they didn't take it out.
It's pretty much the moral of this game in a way.
Yep. And there's our S rank and another achievement. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me.
See you next time, folks.